Hello everybody, welcome back. Bumper's back on. It's all nice and clean. It's looking good. Plastics have been refreshed. New bulbs and side markers. Fuse removed so I'm not spraying windshield wiper fluid anymore all over the place. If I do decide that I want to spray on the windshield wipers, I can always add the fuse back in. But yeah, this went really well. Installation was a little bit easier than the uninstall. I, off camera, did a little bit more work on this gutter guard that I added here. I kind of tried to hide the zip ties so it's a little less noticeable. I think it looks a lot better. Let me bring you in so you guys can see it. So you can see I've got just a little zip tie up here, and then I've got one down here in the corner, so you can barely see it. So it looks really good. And this will help keep stuff from flying in here until I get that new grill piece in. But yeah, grill turned out pretty good. I've got a lot of scuffs and rock chips and all that kind of stuff in the front, so it's only as good as it can get, really, to be honest. But I think my next steps are going to be, I'm going to really hammer at this thing with a clay. Try to get as much contaminants removed as I can, and then I'll probably have to just hit it with a heavy cut compound and then slowly work my way up from there. And I think I can get this thing pretty crispy. It should look pretty good. I do need to figure out how I want. So I've got a Porter cable polisher, which is around here somewhere. It's a DA polisher. I love this thing. I've had it for quite a while. This is a 6-inch, so I need to find something where I can maybe get a 3-inch. I might use a drill, but this is my Porter cable, so I just do all my detailing. That would be a little bit easier to use on some of these small spots here. I might be able to get away with just using a drill and one of the foam pad attachments, which is something like, well, this is a wool one, but I got a wool one here. I got this one that came with the Harbor Freight headlight restoration kit. So I've got a heavy cutting pad that came with it. So I could probably get away with maybe using that setup. Just got to be careful with drills and stuff like that. It's a good way to get holograms. You know, you got to be careful because, to be honest with you, there's not a huge difference in the way that the pad's moving than if you were using a rotary. Thankfully, you're not going to be able to spin it as fast, so it's not going to be quite as aggressive, but well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's going to be my next course of action. Is I think I'm going to hit this with a heavy compound, try to get it as clean and pretty as I possibly can. I'm really trying to avoid getting any kind of repaint done. Where it's going to get really tricky, honestly, is the hood. The hood has probably a million rock chips in it, to the point where it almost looks polka dot. Let's bring it in so you can see it. I tried to fix, I mean, just dab a little bits of paint into some of the deeper ones. Let me give you an example. I had one up here that was like bad. So I just put a little bit of paint in it because I was really worried that if I didn't, I would start getting some rust. But this is paint code 298, which I'm not sure if it's specific to the 60th anniversary. As far as I know, there was like one blue color that they did. But I need to get some paint so I can actually touch this up the right way. Yeah, probably same deal. I'll probably have to hit this with heavy cut. Ideally, I'd like to be able to just do that, but I might even have to wet sand because I got some like mean scratches. Don't let anybody sit on the hood. This wasn't for me. This is something that happened from the previous owner, but yeah, that's got to be what that was from. Also, don't set cardboard boxes on your car or any of that kind of stuff. That's definitely going to tear it up. But for the most part, the paint's not terrible. It could be better. These were some really bad scratches. but I got them kind of cleaned up to the point now where they're not super noticeable. They're there, but they're not super noticeable. The trunk's looking pretty good. The car's dirty right now, but a lot of the swirl marks and major scratches I was able to take out. But like I said, this one's dirty, so this is a poor example to try to show you the paint in this condition. But all this will get worked out. All this plastic will get restored. No more grayish color. I'm gonna pop all this off and get this looking really good. Got some. You can see down here. There's a little chip in the corner. I gotta get that taken care of before that turns to rust. Door seals, all that kind of stuff's okay. I don't think any of those need to be replaced. Interior is pretty good. I got a couple little things like I gotta figure out how to address this. Like I said before, I need OEM floor mats. Got some big crack in the leather here that I gotta fix. It's the only actual spot on these seats that's bad. Everything else looks really good. Yeah, interior is nice and clean, but I've been taking my time getting that cleaned up. I do need to pop this tape off because I glued this in. One day I was backing out of my driveway and I looked at this mirror and I just watched it fall right off and shatter all over the road. I was pretty bummed, but I got a replacement one. It was super cheap on Amazon. Yeah, like I said, everything with the bumper went really good. I do need to address a weird problem that I'm having here where this is loose. It can just rattle right out. You see, I can just kind of wiggle it right out. So I'll be driving down the road and I'll go to get in my car. I'll be like, what the hell? So I just got to figure that one out so it stays in. Still need to clean up these fog light lenses because they're pretty nasty. I'd already did the headlights. They're not perfect, but they look a lot better than they did. They were pretty foggy. Now they're pretty clean. Yeah, so that's my plans. As soon as I get everything together and get it all figured out, I will get a video together for you. And this method of cleaning this up, you can use pretty much on any vehicle. The biggest thing is, keep this in consideration, is if you're going to start messing with heavy cut compounds, wet sanding, any of that stuff, you really need to see how much paint you've got to work with. Sure, your local body shop might be able to help you with something like that. I do not know how much those gauges are to measure paint thickness, but like I said, I've played around before, so I feel fine about it, but I would just hate for anybody else to make the mistake and burn through their clear coat and then have to get a respray. But those are my plans for the exterior. And I think a lot of that I'll be able to address this winter in the garage. But some of it might have to wait. Yep, there she is. Looking good. I can't believe this car is 18 years old. It looks very good for being 18. I will say so myself. But it took a lot of work. I mean, this thing was in rough shape when I first got it. It wasn't clean by any means anywhere, especially the engine bay. Oh, I wish I had some pictures of how dusty and gross it was. But now it's looking good. I saw the other day that they make a stainless throttle body pipe, and it looks good. I want to get that bad. That's a little bit more expensive part that I'll have to wait on. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on the front bumper. Like I said, everything went really well putting it back on. There's a ton of videos putting it on, taking it off, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, a quick YouTube search, you'll be able to find all kinds of videos on bodywork for this too. But that's going to be it for me today. Like I said, I just wanted to provide an update. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you were so kind, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned for some future videos. I have some things coming up. Like I got to get the T replaced, putting a metal one in here, replacing these hoses. I got to do an oil change. So I'll be getting that done here pretty soon. And probably coolant flush, but that might wait till spring. I've got some interior detailing. I'm going to try to do a full restore on the seats. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to do, along with that, full plastic interior detail. I'm going to fix the slow retraction of the seat belts so that they actually go up. I'm going to get all that fixed. Get all this. I'm going to get this car as close to being new as possible. But I hope everyone has a good day. I got nothing else for you right now. So take care and have a good one.